Hello and welcome to Sasha and Goff Live Recorded.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff. And this week we are going to be talking about... What are we talking about again? Our top three drinks. Crowd goes wild. Yes, top three drinks. So
all time.
This is going to be all time. Yeah, this is going to be kind of all over the place. Joni's going to love when she hears this topic. Cause, what do you mean? Right. What's this? Because yeah, she
needs more than
she thinks every one of our categories is too broad, and they probably are because there are so many more than top three. Yeah. But it's like kind of like what's on your mind at the time. I feel
you can't do like top three clear drinks.
Yeah. Well, you maybe could because there's like Zima, there's Sprite. They're all the same. They're all like they have
I gotta write these
down. You gotta write down Zima and Sprite for your favorite drinks.
Yeah. I'm still missing two of them.
All right. So a couple weeks ago we talked about our, what was it? Like our bad habits. So I thought of that because one of mine, our worst habits, our top three bad habits.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm trying to remember mine as we do this.
Well, there was one of them I talked about. It was one of my potent notables, and I thought about our episode because it happened the other day. So I was at work, and this is me apologizing too often for no reason.
Oh, okay.
So I'm at work, and this is just a quick little vignette, but I'm at work, and I'm walking around a corner, and there's a bigger guy, one of our IT guys coming. And I was like, oh, we both kind of like avoided each other. And he's like, well, I almost took you out, which he probably would have, based on his size. And I was just like, oh, yeah, sorry. Like, as I walked past, and it was like, fuck, why did I say sorry? Like, and he didn't respond after that because even he was probably just like...
confused, yeah.
Okay, it's no big deal, man.
Yeah, I've noticed it actually more since you brought it up, like other people doing it. It's not me.
Saying sorry?
Yeah. I don't think I do it as often as you do.
That's because you're a thoughtless, heartless human being.
Yeah.
You're never sorry for anything.
I'm an only child. That's what we do.
That is what we do. Let me tell you what I do.
Oh, segue.
I talk to my dog, Lucy, all the time, like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. And you know what? She's become a fan of the show. She's not giving us money, but she did send us a picture that is going up next to Chug.
All right.
You can't see it because of the bucket. But this is my dog, Lucy.
Now, you realize that's my picture that you are...
It is, but I don't know where else I'm putting this over. So it's covering Dan P now.
Great.
But anyway, yeah.
Sorry,
Lucy,
Dan Pothast. Yeah. You've been lucified.
Lucy wanted to join the board with Chris there. So, yeah, I don't think we talked about the advertisement space yesterday. It's up there.
Yesterday?
Right, yesterday. Last week.
That doesn't make sense in any possible way.
Well, maybe we talked on the phone. I don't know. But anyway, advertisement space right now. Megan's got it up there. It's our no bozos sign. If you give us $2, you can take over that spot. Or, like Lucy did, if you want to be cheap or frugal, just send us a picture. Let's say black and white is the trend.
I don't like that picture did not come with some sort of inscription on it.
I don't
maybe
know.
A paw that you put in some ink.
Yeah.
Take it back. I don't want it up there until...
Staying. It's on my side, so it is staying.
All right.
Okay? You can do whatever you want with Callie whenever she decides.
That's the first time you've taken a stand on this podcast.
Damn right. Well, except for my veto authority.
Yeah, veto power.
Veto, yeah.
So this bozo thing, by the way, it's been up for it feels like 96 weeks. At this point, just send us money and we'll put something there. Otherwise, that's going to stay there. It's pretty nice, and Megan hasn't asked for it back.
Also, though, that's kind of like, we like calling ourselves bozos, so I think that...
No, I don't.
Jerk. Sorry.
No bozos around here, buddy.
All right, so how are we doing this week?
Doing good. As you can tell, we are wearing matching shirts this week. Now, this is very interesting. Macho Man, it says Downers Grove, cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
Now, I can't do a good Macho Man.
I think mine's okay.
That's decent.
I'm the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Thank you.
That's pretty solid. It's not the best I've heard, but it's like a Downers Grove 8, which is like a Bartlett 4.
Thank you.
So
I'll take it.
I don't know what any of that means, but our dear friend Bishop, who
take
moved from Downers Grove, he used to live in Downers Grove, and he said, I've had enough of this place. I'm moving to Florida, the Downers Grove of the South. And so he moved to Florida. He sent me a link the other day. I believe it was machomonument.com. I should know that since we're talking about it here.
Yeah.
I think it's machomonument.com. If not, just go to Google and search Macho Monument. But basically, there are some people, I don't know who. I'd love to know who they are. Some wrestling fans, I assume, unless they're a fan of Macho Man's minor league baseball career that he had.
Probably, or his Slim Jim career.
Did you know he was a minor league baseball player?
Believe it or not, I think I
St.
did
Louis
know that.
Cardinals, I think, system or something like that. But he went to Downers Grove, I want to say north. And that's just off the top of my noggin. So we'll fact check that at some later point. But I believe he went to Downers Grove North, and then he went into the White Sox and the Cardinals like training system. And then he became the Macho Man, and everybody knows who Macho Man is. I don't need to tell you about Macho Man, but I do want to tell you about MachoMonument.com. These guys are trying, or girls or whoever, are trying to get a statue, a monument of the Macho Man in Downers Grove, which rightfully so, because nothing good has ever come from Downers Grove besides the Macho Man. If anything should have a monument, it's the Macho Man. Yeah. They found a park. I guess there's a park called Randall Park in Downers Grove. And
I should know that. I live relatively close to there, but
they said they think it should be changed to Randy Park, and that's where the monument should be. And I think that's the greatest idea since coming up with an idea for a Macho Man monument in a place.
So if they can't make a monument, at least change the name, maybe.
Yeah. And then
you can't shell out the...
And then also put in the monument. So what they're doing is they're raising money to build a monument, and they're gonna, I don't know, they have to like...
No, but even if you raise the money, though, you can't just build it. You know, you have to have permits and stuff. So it's like, what if they raise this money and they're still like, no?
Well, they thought of that. If you went to machomonument.com, as I know you have...
Oh, yes.
They say, like, if by June of 2025 or whenever it is, May, I don't remember... Macho Me, that would have been a good one.
Oh, good call.
But if they've raised money or whatever, and like they've talked to the people, and there's no way of getting the monument done, they're just donating it to some specific charity, and they're going to show when the charity is done. So by that point, we'll return the shirts, ask for our money back.
I was gonna say, actually, like this money in here, I'd be fine putting this toward a Macho Monument. Like if they guaranteed, it's like, hey,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So I mean, your hard-earned dollars for our advertising space could go to the Macho Monument.
Macho Monument, we're already giving you 16 listeners who one of them may purchase a shirt, and we got a good $21 in this cup. So Bishop bought us these shirts, sent it to us to support the monument, obviously, more than supporting us. But also we get these cool shirts. Thank you, Bishop. We appreciate the shirts. Goff said, I look like the Macho Man. Look at these buys.
I agree, man.
Look at the buys.
I've
been clanging and banging like
I
Macho
would
Man
flex,
used
but
to
I don't
do.
want to rip the shirt.
Yeah,
so.
it's a good call.
Right.
But yeah, thank you, Bishop. These shirts are incredible. And check out machomonument.com if that is the website, because it's funny. Like there's stuff on there. It's not just like here's 2 links and a t-shirt thing. Like they put some thought into it. And they're also on Instagram. They got, I think, a couple hundred followers or something like that. Macho Monument on Instagram.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm plugging them so much, but I would absolutely love for a Macho Man monument to exist close enough where I could drive to it.
It's very close to my house. I'd hang out, take pictures, everything.
So thank you, Bishop, and thank you to the Macho Monument people involved. That brings me to a different thing I wanted to talk about, which was T-shirts, right? It's T-shirt related. I'm thinking about getting some T-shirts for the store.
Okay.
The store being, which I will open at some point for this podcast. And I have a couple T-shirt ideas I wanted to run them by you.
Alrighty.
The first one is just a T-shirt that just says "real quick." That's it.
Okay.
That's all it says.
Like it.
Second one just says "crank it."
Crank it's a good one. That's newly introduced, but
the next one says "I hate Sasha." And then the other one says, "I hate Goff." So you get to pick.
Oh, that's good. So then we can like literally see who the fans are here for.
Yes, yeah.
Whoa,
which one of our parents are listening? Yeah. The other one, I should have done this already. Maybe I'll get it done in time for this episode to drop. But it's a green or red shirt with green or red lettering that says "Goddamn Jolly," which reminds me, how are you in the jolliness scale today?
I could tell your voice got heavier for that one. So I'm great. I am fantastic.
Free shirts. How can you
Free
not
shirts,
be jolly?
That's absolutely. We talk about it all the time, how it's like a struggle to find a shirt we haven't worn yet the week before or the past 25 weeks. But
by the way, solid shirt too. Like high quality. Yeah, very good shirt.
Bishop, thank you, man. This is like, I'm definitely wearing this.
And then the only other T-shirt idea that I thought of is nothing that we've ever mentioned on the podcast, but I think would probably sell the most. and it just says "Chevops till I die." Do you know what Chevops are?
I don't know.
It's a Serbian sausage. We'd sell these to so many Serbian people.
Well, what are we doing then?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I thought of this like yesterday, and I was like, I need to make a store.
Man.
And then I was like, oh yeah, we'll just put it on here. So Chevops till I die is I don't know. I got to get some designs going. I got to I got to talk to the king of art.
Yeah.
And see what we could do to get.
You
some
really
stuff
are
done.
trying to rush this episode. You're just combining words.
Last episode I did the math after the episode. 98% of the episode was my voice, and
it was
trying
good,
to get
though.
out
It was
of
good
it,
energy, good jolly energy.
And then I have one little story for you.
Okay.
Actually, I got two little stories for you. One of them leads to nowhere. You want to hear it?
Yes.
I saw a guy 2 blocks away. Maybe larger than 2 blocks. You know where you got your big toy score close to my house?
Yes.
Right around there, I saw a man riding a bicycle. It was a 2-person bicycle.
Okay.
And it was one guy riding the bicycle. By the way, it's winter here.
Yeah. When was this though? Today is pretty nice.
3 days ago.
Okay, yeah. 3 days ago was brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know where that story takes me, but I've never seen any of those things.
Now, I'm curious, was he on the back or the front?
Front.
Okay.
He's on the front.
Can you ride like a 2-person bike from the back?
I don't know.
As a solo?
I'd love to know.
I don't know. I've always been curious with 2-person bikes. So do the pedals go automatic? Yeah, you'll probably.
I think so.
So it's like even if you don't have to be in sync, you're gonna be regardless.
I think you have to just keep up with the faster person. Yeah.
I always think of like stuff like that. I always think of American Gladiators in the Eliminator when they had and
this
how they're
thing?
the legs, how you have to legs just helped you kick. So
yeah, good call.
All right, give me pointless story number 2.
Pointless story number 2. This is something that happened to me yesterday. This was pretty crazy. As you know, I drive a truck. Mm-hmm. I have a couple trucks.
How was your truck, by the way? Like fixed, repaired?
Fixed-ish. 90.
No more holes, gaping holes in the back.
Yeah, we fixed it. Not perfectly, but like we were able to get it pretty close to done. I got to paint it when it gets warmer. But yeah, it's pretty good. And I also have a smaller truck that only holds like 2 pallets. So if I don't have a lot of stuff, I can zip. Instead of in the bigger truck where I have to take larger streets and it just takes longer or whatever. So I'm driving in my smaller truck yesterday, and it's died on me a couple of times, and it died again on me yesterday. Ooh. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden it loses power. You could tell it can't go as fast. I'm like, where do I go? I'm in a residential area. It's just houses around me and no side streets. I finally get to a side street. And I pull in. There's an elementary school. I spot a parking lot that's empty, and I look and I can see that the van is smoking. So I'm like,
shit.
Okay, if it's gonna blow, I want to be in that parking lot over there and avoid the cars and all this stuff. So I get into this elementary school parking lot. I go to the empty parking lot area.
Wait, was school happening at the time?
Yeah, it was 1 p.m.
Wow.
And that
was you, huh?
And
I heard about that on the news.
I pull into the spot over there, and it just dies right there as I'm pulling into the exact spot where
this
I wanted to be.
This wasn't a gas issue?
It's not a gas issue. I step outside of the car. I look under the car, and just all the oil from my car just starts pouring out of the bottom of the truck.
Wow.
So I go, okay, something happened here, and I go make sure that the fire is not a fire and it's just smoke. Yeah. And everything's fine, except for the fact that I'm stuck here 45 minutes from my house. Yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I have to get a tow. That's fine. It is what it is.
Sorry to keep interrupting. It's what I do. Were you in the middle? Were you in the middle of a delivery, or was this after?
I had just finished it.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, that's why I didn't really have too much stress. About it. I was just like, it
I
is
got
what
my
it
phone.
is.
I got my wallet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It was very cold. And I did not dress for the cold.
I am never dressed for this weather.
I wear long underwear all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, I driving in a truck,
that
in and out
sense,
and stuff like that. So I usually dress warmer. On this day, I chose not to, and I wish I had. But the bigger problem was that I had just gotten coffee, and I just drank a large coffee. And so now I got to pee, really, really bad. My truck died. I called the guy. It's the same guy who picked me up last time my truck died. It also, this was on a Friday when this happened. And the last time my truck died, it was on a Friday. The guy remembered me. he only has one truck. He's local to that area. I was very close to where the truck died last time, so we were just like having a good time, whatever. So he shows up, and it takes a while. First 20 minutes for him to get there. Second of all, you gotta like put the truck up on stuff and thing. Yeah. I gotta pee really bad, but I'm at an elementary school, and then that's it. It's an empty field. I have nowhere to go, so I don't want to just go pee by a tree because I'm at an elementary school. That
leads to prison.
Yeah, exactly. So I go, I'll just go into the school is what I'll do. Right? So I go to the front of the school. I don't go through the corridors. Yeah. I don't know what a corridor is. So I go to the front of the school. They have a buzzer, and I go, bzz, and they're like, how can we help you? And I'm like, this is going to sound weird, which is not what you want to say to a school.
No, probably not.
I messed up right away. I said, this is going to sound weird, but my truck just died in your parking lot. I'm waiting for the tow, but I have to go to the bathroom really bad. Is there any possible way that someone could, like, take me to the bathroom? I completely understand if you can't. I just wanted to know because there's no stores. There's nothing around this area. And the lady's like, not during school hours. I'm sorry. So now I'm trapped. Like, I am where it hurts, like, holding it in. And I'm still waiting for the guy to show up. And I see a couple trees, but they are on a busy street. Like the busy...
You're wondering, too, if this woman's now monitoring what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Outside. Yeah.
So I took, like, the main paths to get to show that I actually have a truck back there and I'm not just, like, cutting through your grass to, like, whatever. And so, like, I get back to my truck and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I need to pee in the coffee cup and I need to be as, like...
discreet.
Yeah, just like really hide this. But I'm at a street where cars are just constantly going. Mm-hmm. And then all these kids come out of the elementary school. No. It was so cold yesterday. I can't believe they let the kids out of the school. But they literally all come and they're like right there. And so now I can't pee because there's children there. Yeah. That's a crime, I believe.
I think so.
So I can't do that. And so I'm just like waiting and hurting, and the guy shows up and I know him. He's helped me out before, and I'm like, I have to pee so bad, and he's like, you can't do that here. He's kind of like gruff, and he's like, you can't do that here. You're gonna get arrested. And I'm like, I know. So like we finally load everything up. He's like, get in the truck. I can barely get into his truck. Like I can't bend my body because I have to pee so bad. And we get in the truck, and by the way, it's a pickup truck. Like towing truck. Okay. It bounces like so hard on this side street that's like a main street, but it's a side street. It's not a busy whatever. Yeah. And so it's all like bumps the entire way. And once we get onto the main street, it goes 11 miles till whatever. Oh, no. And I look at him and I go, I can't make 11 miles. Can you please stop anywhere? And he goes, yeah, no problem. So we made it to a Burger King. Okay. And that Burger King is where my truck has died before. So I told him that.
Jeez.
And he was laughing at that. And so he waited for me and I peed. And then I felt like a new man. And then I didn't have any stress at all. Like I didn't care about the truck. Like whatever. Whatever's going to happen is happen. It's a 25-year-old truck. But the pee part was interesting. I had no clue what to do in that situation. I almost went to somebody's house, and I'm like, that's going to be just as weird as the buzzer situation.
I didn't think of that because, the fact that you're just like, listen, I'm in your parking lot, and it's like, well, just go over there. And it's like, listen, I can't use my car. That's the thing. And it's like,
Yeah, so it was a tough situation, but luckily got out of it.
Well, it looks like, you did the right thing, definitely, by like, at least the way, and not just like, buzzing the thing and it's like I gotta piss.
So what would you have done? You would have just held it out, or you would have like?
I probably would. Yeah, I probably would have done what you did. I mean, like, why not try?
Would just you have...
if you give like a very good, if you're honest, and like I think you saying too, like, listen, I understand that if you can't do that, and they probably, maybe did feel a little bit bad that they couldn't help you as your truck's off to the side burning. And they're like, I think that's his.
I should have just peed right there on their wall and been like, I told you
into the camera.
Yeah, I told you.
What? Can't see me?
The kids are safe.
Yeah,
they're inside.
They're fine.
I'm outside. We're good. But yeah, so that's the little bit of drama that I had in my life. So
yeah, cool, good stuff, man. So I went to a wedding last weekend. My sister-in-law got married. Congrats, Ellie and Alex. So I'm not gonna really like break down their wedding. It was a good time. I want to talk about weddings in general. You were at my wedding. I was at your why did I say that word? Your wedding. Do you like going to weddings? And I mean, like, weddings are another thing that can be kind of stressful for, people going to it. You gotta, get a suit, get a dress, whatever. Costs a lot of money.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to go
Not
with
a big
no.
wedding guy?
I'm not a big wedding guy. I think of it in different ways, too. It's like, sometimes you can go to, like, certain weddings of family members who are maybe you're not close with, but, like, they're still your family, and you go and you're just like, I don't want to. Okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you go to family weddings that are great and, like, they're close to you and whatever. And then sometimes you have friend weddings, which are like, could be even better because you're with your friends. You can relax a little more. Maybe you're not, like, you've probably noticed with me around my family, I'm very, like, I don't want them to know about this podcast. I don't want them to know, like, that.
I know. I actually, on the last week's for a clip, I'll text you every once in a while if it's one I just want to make sure because I believe your aunt follows us.
Yeah, I have, like, cousins who follow us.
Okay.
And, so
she's the only one I know for sure.
There's many,
like Gore and it. Yeah.
I know, like, at least 3 that are
okay.
And, like, I don't have an issue with them following us or anything like that. But I do, like, I'm always like, is this gonna get back to my mom? Like, I don't want anything to get back. So whatever. I'm a little bit more open when I'm with friends, and so But even, like, friend weddings, when you get to a certain age and you've done enough of them, you're like, all right, man, you should have got married earlier.
All right,
because then you're that like the last friend who gets married, that stinks.
Now there's
I was close to the last, I think, of like my friends maybe.
I can't. Well, my buddy Vic got married after me. Other than that, or well, like, I mean, me and Joni got married before you and Megan. But I mean, other than that, like, my friend group, no one's gotten married. Like, I haven't been to I've been to some friend weddings, but, like, the friend group I hung out with in, like, high school, no. Besides Vic.
I think like most of my friends who got married before me.
Yeah.
So there's some that still haven't gotten married, and that's, like, whatever. But I don't, like, I know that, like, people are gonna get married still, like, friends of mine, and I'm like, man, I'm 42. I gotta go be in a wedding. You know?
See, I feel like for me, weddings I'm gonna be going to are not the friends I grew up with. I just kind of feel like, and I hate to say that, but most of them actually I don't really hang out with anymore. But, like, my family, again, I have 4 sister-in-laws, 2 real sisters, and an actual brother.
The thing is,
and I don't know. I mean, like, well, besides the wedding I went to last week, but other than that, I mean,
you don't want to say. Also, it's not like I don't appreciate the wedding. I'm not happy for the people and stuff like that. But it's just the same. It's like when people are going to your wedding, you're like, I feel bad that you had to come here.
They gotta come. You want to give them a good time, and one of the big things is that you and I no longer drink, which is, like, a big reason to go to weddings, open bar, and having a good time, all the drinking, dancing, everything. So this will be my first sober wedding, I think. And it's not one of those, like, what am I going to do? But it'll definitely be different. At least I'll remember the wedding. But speaking of, like, drinking at weddings, like, are you a dancer at all? Do you like dancing? Do you dream? Are you a dreamer? That's what I asked you 2 weeks ago.
I write in my dream journal about dancing.
About dancing.
No, I went to, see, like, when I was younger, definitely not. Although once you start drinking, then, like, everything's off the table or potentially on the table when it comes to dancing. I don't know. I'm not a dance guy. I never have been. But now, because I know Megan is also not a dance person, if we go to weddings, I'm like, hey, you want to dance? And then she's like, no. And then I'm like, oh, come on!
In front of everyone.
Yeah.
She won't dance with me. And then you got to dance with, like, someone's grandma because she's like, I'll dance.
I would, but nobody ever wants to dance with me.
Just to show Megan up.
The last wedding we went to, I think, was a friend of Megan's, like, co-workers of hers. And I didn't know anybody. And we sat down at the table, and I was like, guys, I just saw Titanic for the first time, and we as a table need to talk about it.
That's a great icebreaker. Look at that.
Well, but here's the thing. They're either going to be like, this guy's nuts, or they were into it. And they were at least kind and pretended like they were into it. And they were like, how have you not seen this movie until you were 40 or whatever?
That's hilarious. Because
I like to just, like, have a good time with people.
Absolutely, so do I. But I mean, like, I was legitimately going to ask you, have you ever been at one of those tables, the extras tables?
I would say this was probably close to
Okay.
the extras. I think there was a table behind us, but like this was like co-workers. Like,
Well, when you
towards the back.
see, we went to one
I
wedding.
definitely have.
Where we were definitely, and you can look around and you know that no couples at that table know anyone else at
Okay.
the table because everyone's just kind of like, well, for one, introducing themselves, but yeah, there was one time and it was just like, motherfucker. It's like, I'm an extra.
That's okay. Like, I don't mind weddings. You get some food, whatever. It's not just like a boring, repetitive day or whatever. So it's just like another thing. But I don't know. As you get older, you're just kind of, you don't look forward to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. When I was younger, it was just kind of like, oh yeah, this person's getting married.
Yeah,
We're gonna.
And that's what was more important to us back then, you know?
Yeah.
We actually, quick story. So Mike from Melmac, you're a fan of the show. He has a twin sister, Michelle, also from Melmac. And when she got married years back, my mom actually went to the DJ and told him to play Baby Got Back, which is 1000% my favorite wedding song because it's a great song and I love dancing.
Okay.
So
You
the
love
DJ,
dances.
I would say that, but you know what though? Not to keep going back to it, without the drinking, it obviously takes away a lot of the courage.
Yeah.
And I went to a Halloween wedding where I had a mask on the whole time, so it's like that was just perfect because no one can look me in the eyes as I'm dancing. And I don't mean dancing like, I mean,
Well, how do you dance? Get up and show me how you would dance.
I'll do it after the show.
No. Do it for the people, but stay within the view of the camera.
All right. Well,
I'll join you.
I'll do the running man.
Oh God.
See what I told you?
Oh God.
Okay.
Right.
So
you keep talking.
one of our cameras is okay, the other is not. But all right, so at this wedding, my mom told the DJ to play that. So out of nowhere, we just hear, "Hey, Robbie and Brian, come on out." So this guy calls us to the dance floor, just us two. He's like, "Someone has requested Baby Got Back," you know. We didn't have anything planned. We didn't have a dance routine, but we did this entire song just on the fly.
Wow.
There was one point where I ducked down and he literally jumped over my back, like one of those. We did the thing with the lasso.
Wait, was this
Like
your wedding?
No, this was, and
Because I feel like you did this at your wedding too.
we probably did. Maybe we did. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, no, this was at Michelle's definitely because there was one point she got pulled out there too, and it was like everyone was just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Wow.
Like everyone loved it. We had a great time.
Yeah, of course. Did you guys know that your mom requested it?
She knew that, like, I love the song, but no, I didn't see her going up there. So when the guy called us, it was
Okay.
kind of like one of those, like, oh, we're acting
right.
embarrassed, you know? We're just
Yeah.
like, no, come on, it's been okay.
You gonna do the thing?
Yeah, you
Big
could
frog?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I'll duck down.
All right.
So yeah, but then no, that was a fantastic time. It was a good wedding. So yeah, like I said, we went to one last week. It was my daughter's first wedding attending, so that was cool for them.
Do you ever think about your like future weddings that you're gonna have to do for your daughters?
Little
Has that
bit.
crossed your mind at all?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
it's
just
well,
financially?
maybe just boyfriends in general,
Yeah.
you know, or girlfriends, whatever, you know, whatever they're feeling. So,
Interesting.
yeah, but I think that is all I get. No, actually, I had one more question for you, just because I had some the other day. Do you like feta cheese? You a feta cheese guy?
I'm into it now. I didn't like it when I was younger, and then like I started as I got older.
Okay.
That's like a theme of this. As I got older, I like lemon tasting things
Yeah.
and coconut. Never.
Well, it's
liked
weird
that
how
stuff.
our palates change. Like, I'm
Yeah.
starting to not like shrimp anymore. Like, I love
Ah.
cocktail sauce, and I used to love shrimp, but now I'm just kind of like, ugh.
All right, raw or like deep fried.
Well, like raw, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, feta's okay. It's Greek, right?
Yeah.
Feta.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
And then also, I went to the dentist last week, and yeah, just wanted to share that because the dentist sucks.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you're.
No, I love my the office, the ladies who work, but yeah, I got a crown, or I have a partial on now, but I mean, like, have you had because I've had a lot of dental work done, so
Yeah,
it's
me
like
too.
I'm the guy where they're always just like, you always do such a great job, because I'm like not a problem because I don't really react to anything, but when you're done. You know, and anyone who's had a cavity or whatever knows, you know, when you have the Novocaine in your mouth, and it's like I get home and I'm drinking out of a water bottle, but I can literally only feel half the bottle,
Yeah.
and you're like, am I in the mouth? Like, am I in the right way? You're worrying that it's just gonna like pour down your chin.
Common phrase in your home.
Yeah, is it in my mouth?
Let me ask you something though. You spend a lot of money, or are you covered?
Like not full cover, not full
Yeah.
coverage, but yeah.
I've spent probably close to like 7-8 grand.
Oh, I was gonna say my dentist office should
past
have like the
couple
Brian
years.
Goff wing.
I so my dentist, she's a great lady. I don't even think she's my dentist anymore because
I
she
don't even
moved.
think she's a dentist.
Well, she moved offices, and then I went to her new office, which is in the town you live in, and
we might go to the same dentist.
I went over there, and I had an appointment with her, and they're like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't come on Wednesdays." So then the next time I came on a Thursday, and then like she wasn't there that day either. So I don't know what happened to her.
Oh.
But she's kind of like a tougher lady, like with the people who work for her, which I like. You know, you got to be on top of people who are. This is like a delicate area or whatever, and so she could be like a little bit tough. And I caught wind of it, and I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I got to make this lady laugh because she doesn't know me very well. You know, she sees me every once in a while and just, oh, how are you doing? Okay, whatever. And so one time we were leaving, and I was like, when are you going to take me on your boat? And she was like, what? And I was like, I've been here so much that I've definitely purchased a boat for you. When are you going to take me on your boat? It could have gone one of two ways. One, she could have shot me right there. But she laughed hysterically. She's like, I wish I had a boat, blah, blah, blah. But ever since that day, it was opened up. When I came in, the office was happy. Here's the guy.
No one's living in fear anymore.
No one lives in fear until I leave or whatever. But like, yeah, I won her over. I won some people over there. But here's the worst part about my dentist. You go to the dentist, they play country music. Country music at the dentist, that's like double the dentist. Country music is the dentistry of music.
Mine was Christmas music, which is fine. And I did, you know, I don't know if you listened to my last...
It's Christmas time.
We're going to do a quick tangent here, though. All right, how do you feel about the Mariah Carey song, All I Want for Christmas?
It's great. I've been kicked out of bars for playing it in June.
I think you know what, you've probably mentioned this before then. So I don't mind that song either. It's not my favorite. The one that really irks me now is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That song, you know, the dun, 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 dun. I give them all the credit in the world. They're fantastic, but I'm fucking tired of that song. And I feel that one's even more overplayed than Mariah Carey.
I googled the Trans-Serbian Orchestra. It's a completely different thing. But the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I like it because it's like guitar heavy, and so I'm a guitar player.
Trans-Serbian versus Siberian.
It's completely different. so
like one letter difference. There's an extra I in the one. That was good.
Look, okay, all right. You gonna be all right?
That was good.
Okay. We did it. I finally got a laugh.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it because like I'm a guitar guy, and that's the one you're talking about, right? The one that
they're like I said, they're great. I just think I've heard that song because it's in like commercials more often, and the Mariah Carey one is like almost played as like like everyone hates this song, but it's like I genuinely don't.
It's
mind
crazy
it.
like how much money she makes on it every
year. I
year.
think there's like a new video or something because it was on the other day, and I'm like, holy shit! Like I was watching, Jody was just like, all right, buddy. It was one of those. It's just like, I'm sorry, she looked fantastic.
All right, yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I'm a Mariah Carey fan as well.
All right, let's talk. We'll change the topic. Our top 3 Mariah Carey songs.
Yeah, I'm in. All of them are the Christmas song.
Yeah.
Oh no, and Butterfly. Butterfly is beautiful.
Is that one?
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, that's all I got then. You want to just get into Wapio?
Yeah.
What are we putting inside ourselves? This is where we're just going to give you a couple either recommendations or tell you what we watched, saw, heard, ate, whatever that sucked. So I'll start this one off. I have 3 movies. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these. Oldies but goodies. The first, I don't know, for whatever reason.
You've watched all of these recently?
This week, yeah.
Okay,
I had some time. So I don't know, I must have been in like a Mark Ruffalo kick because he is in all 3 of these movies. The first one I watched was Zodiac. You remember that one? This is the one about the Zodiac killer.
I don't even know who Mark Ruffalo is.
Well, you don't know the MC. He plays the Hulk now.
Is he the guy who married Kelly Ripa?
I don't think so. No, that's Mark
Zuckerberg.
Consuelos or I don't know. But anyway, so the movie Zodiac is about the Zodiac.
What do you call a Hispanic woman with no legs? Consuelo.
Nice. Can't swim well.
Other people got it. It's all right.
Sorry, I got nothing.
We'll discuss after the pod.
Yeah, you're terrible. Okay, so anyway, Zodiac, a movie about the Zodiac
I think
killer.
It's pretty good.
This was another movie kind of like Oppenheimer where you're like, wow, is this the whitest movie ever? Like, it's got a fantastic cast, but it's just like, I mean, they're being historically accurate, so I guess, and it's just, but it's about, for the fifth time, because you keep talking over me, jerk, you're being me right now, but
I haven't said a word.
About the Zodiac killer from San Francisco from like it was like a 20-year case. Spoiler, because again, this case is long over, but the movie, while it is very good, it's just kind of like unsatisfying at the end because the case is still technically open because the guy that they were about to arrest died like in between, so it was like fuck, like they never got him actually convicted as
You said this is an old movie?
Yeah, it's what is Zodiac is 2007.
Okay.
Now I thought of this because there's a new documentary on Netflix that just came out.
Okay.
It's called Can You Hear Me on the Zodiac, which I started watching. Didn't get too into it. My brother said it was pretty good though, but that kind of made me think of it.
I had a book on the Zodiac killer, 20 years ago or something like that, and I never read it. I never got into it. I'm not really like a big
like true crime guy.
Yeah, any of that. Yeah. None of it really interests me, but it's just like you hear the name and you're like, "Oh, it must be a good story." And then I got like 10 pages in and I was like, "I'm going to
It's kind of interesting, but and I hate to say it, but I mean like he wasn't like a huge like a John Wayne Gacy type. Like as far as what's confirmed, there was only like 5 deaths. Okay. Which again, I hate this. Oh, that's 5. This guy's a pussy. All right, second one is a movie called Spotlight, which is another kind of based on a true story. This is from the Boston Globe when they uncovered the big like the Catholic priests.
Okay.
Yeah, like so it's tough subject
What happened
matter.
with the Catholic priests?
All right, so when a man loves a child. No,
that's the best explanation I've ever heard, actually.
But yeah, so it's like disturbing content, but it's done very well to where it's like they don't get into like graphic detail, but it's just more so it's like, okay, these people need to be brought down.
You can like feel the effect of it without having to watch it.
Exactly, yeah. And another one, a really good cast. Michael Keaton's in it. Rachel McAdams, like I said, Mark Ruffalo. Very good cast. That one's from 2015. The Zodiac and Spotlight are both based on true stories, so it's like pretty much any time you watch one of those, you got to take it with a little grain of salt. Mm-hmm. It's like, what are they fabricating here? And then the last one stars Mark Ruffalo, just in case you didn't catch the gist. This one's called The Last Castle. Actually, the star of this movie is Robert Redford. James Gandolfini is also in it. It might have been his last movie, actually.
That's the salad dressing guy?
Yes. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, no, that's Howard Newman.
You know what? I understand that now you're talking about Robert Redford. I thought you were talking about Gandolfini. I was thinking like an Italian dressing. I'm like, maybe that's it. Anyway.
You got an interesting brain.
I do.
You got an interesting brain.
The 2% I use. But yeah, this movie, this came out in 2001. And I remember watching it when it was on cable. My brother and I watched it together, and we just loved it. It's about, like, Robert Redford is a former military general who's, like, disgraced now because he led a mission and a bunch of people died. So he has to go to a military prison. I didn't even know they made these things. Like, so everyone there is a former soldier, so there's discipline, but it's like any prison, they're still fighting everything. Gandolfini's the warden. Robert Redford comes in and everyone knows who he is, so it's like they still have to treat him like a prisoner, but everyone respects the shit out of him. And he immediately just kind of takes over the prison. He's like telling James Gandolfini's character, "You're a joke. No one cares. We want you to resign." So by the end of the movie, it's like the prisoners taking over the prison, and it's like the last 45 minutes is just like an awesome action sequence. Okay. Completely unbelievable, and it's just like, they're taking helicopters down from the ground and stuff, so you're like, well, okay, all right, but it's still highly entertaining.
This is not like Gandolfini's last movie or anything.
No, you know what, I just said I thought it was, but I think The Mexican was actually his last movie.
Isn't that with Brad
with
Pitt?
A whole white cast, yes.
Jennifer Aniston?
No,
the guy from Friends?
Brad
Chandler?
Pitt? No, that's a good movie, though. That's, oh shit! Fools Rush In.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
No, the
Fools
Mexican. Yeah, I believe it was.
You should have just said yes.
Maybe Brad Pitt and someone else. But
all right.
Anyway, yeah. So just those 3 movies. Just watching some old stuff. I recommend all 3 of them.
Okay. I'm gonna recommend a YouTube channel. This is interesting.
Something new.
Because it is about the bass guitar, kind of. I am not a bass player.
Okay.
But this channel, it's called Low End University. And so this guy, it's basically reaction videos. This guy watches.
I watch those all the time.
Yeah, I think it's the dumbest thing of all time, and I can't stop watching them. Like they're just you're watching somebody watch something.
Yeah.
Like,
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I know. Joni thinks I'm nuts.
So he does like music videos, and he's done a lot of like punk ones recently. He basically takes requests from his listeners or whatever. He's got something like 103,000 followers on YouTube.
Wow.
It's a pretty big channel.
It's close to what we have.
Pretty close. But he does he did The Decline, No Effects The Decline.
Oh, wow.
He did like Propaganda and Lagwagon and all this stuff. And he doesn't know any of them. Streetlight Manifesto. And he's never heard any of these bands. So first of all, you're getting the reaction to it. Mm-hmm. But the second part of it is like the music theory part of it, which I'm into. But you don't even need to be into that part just to like, if you like reaction videos, like this guy's, he's
they're a dime a dozen. You can find them for everything, but you find one you like.
And so like, I just really like this one. And it's funny because he did one recently for a Propaganda song. I watched it and then I went deep into the catalog. I listened to everything Propaganda again. And I was like, man, they're one of my favorite punk bands of all time. They're just so good. Mm-hmm. Like 2 days after that video came out that this guy put out, my dear friend Kowalski texted me, and he's like, hey, this Propaganda album, I just listened to it, and I remembered how great it is. And I was like, funny you say that. S.
Supporting cast?
Maybe. I could be wrong. Either way, I was like, oh, I just went through a deep dive because of the Low End University guy on YouTube. And he's like, I just did the same exact thing.
Cool.
So he went back and listened to a bunch of the stuff. But yeah, this guy does great videos, and yeah, I love that stuff when people have never heard like Rage Against the Machine, and it's like a choir singer, and they're like, oh!
That was, I think we talked about it at some point when I talked about that band Baby Metal, like how I talked, that one performance for that video, that's the one that I've probably watched the most reactions for.
I've seen,
and it's just people like, oh my God, you know, and
yeah, so that, and then the only other thing that I watched this week, really, like, MLS finals happened, and I won't tell you the score because they didn't really happen. We're recording this before, but anyway, I've been watching MLS. I've been watching NBA basketball. That stuff's kind of boring, but I did watch an oldie but a goodie. I've seen this before, and I talked about him on the show last week. This is a Conan O'Brien documentary. It's called Conan O'Brien Can't Stop.
Okay.
This is from 2011. It's on Amazon Prime. You remember when all the stuff happened with him and Jay Leno?
Not really. No.
Okay, so NBC gave The Tonight Show. Jay Leno retired. They gave it to Conan.
Okay.
After 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever it was, they were like, Jay wants to come back.
Oh, that's right. He had to switch networks, right?
Yeah, so Jay wanted to come back, and they were like, sorry, Conan, we can give you the midnight slot again, but... And so he was like, I'm not coming back if you guys are being jerks.
Wait, they were going to bump Conan, or they're because you said Conan. Did you mean they said that to Jay? You can have the midnight spot?
No.
Okay, so they were going to bump Conan and put Jay back?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, Jay, you get your spot back, and then Conan, because he's been struggling, we can give him back his old spot. And he's like, no, you gave me the Tonight Show. I'm going to make the Tonight Show work. And so, like, obviously, they paid him a bunch of money, and... $40 million or something like that to just not be around. And so he went on a tour called the like Legally Not Allowed to Be on TV tour or whatever it was during this time.
So hold on. So then did Jay get his spot back?
Yeah, and what they did first was because Conan had to be on for a certain amount of time, like let's say they gave him another month, they're like, all right, you're here until the month and then you're out. They actually put Jay Leno in front of his time slot. Wow. So they like created a newer time slot to have Jay Leno go ahead of him to bring people in. Yeah. So like they really messed him up, and that's when he ended up going to TBS, and he stayed there for a while until he like just went off. Now he doesn't do anything. He does like HBO. He has a couple things where he travels and does Conan stuff, which they're pretty good. So this was basically following him around on the tour that after he was done, he set up a tour like U.S. wide, 45 days or whatever it was, 45 cities. And he just went to like Chicago Theater in Chicago, all these different theaters all over the place, and did his own like variety show. So he was singing, dancing, playing in bands, comedy stuff.
All the while his hair just poofing around.
Poofing all year. And so like he did that, and it was very, very successful. And this is the behind the scenes. So you get to see a lot of like him being like, I don't want to like talk to people. I don't want to meet people. I'm sick of meeting the the representatives and stuff like that. I just want to do the show and get out of here. He did Bonnaroo, like the big festival, and he was like introducing bands, and he's like, nobody told me I'd introduce all these bands. I'm tired. I'm doing my own show, and then I have to wait till
in the
10
middle of the
p.m.
set,
or
it's
whatever.
like, the Chili Peppers are about to go on.
Yeah,
be right back.
And that's the thing. He's like, I have to write material for this because I can't just be like, here's Nas
next
or whatever.
up is White Zombie.
Yeah, exactly. So it was. You get to see a side of him where he's like clearly tired and whatever, but then he's got the people around him. And I brought it up last week, but like him swearing is kind of a weird thing. And then, you know, like meet and greets with people, and then he's like, no more pictures, just signing stuff. Or you know, like you're kind of like, it's a different side of him to see than like the TV goofy, lanky arms and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was cool because like he did this tour, you could tell, because like to like stay sane, like he had to do something. He didn't want to just like sit around. He was like, I got to get out there and like release the energy of Conan O'Brien or whatever. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I've seen it before.
What's this on?
Amazon Prime.
That's right.
Conan O'Brien Can't Stop.
I have one more. Are you done? I'm sorry.
I'm finished.
One more. We talked about this when we went to the show a couple weeks ago. I started watching Bones and All, the new Jeselnik special. I haven't finished it yet. Obviously, I'd recommend it if you like his. You were there, so yeah, you're just like, oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the recommendation. Hey. I told you guys about this when it happened.
You know
2
what?
months ago.
I'm still gonna watch it though. Yeah. So good job.
I do think though that Fire in the Maternity Ward, I liked that one a little bit better, at least so far.
All right.
I don't know. I just feel like in this one, maybe that's how he starts, because I'm not used to watching his entire set where he actually starts with a story, because most of his jokes is just like a setup and then boom. But yeah, I think it's probably just him, because he's talking about like a woman, you know, who he's
just got like too much good stuff that I can't even rank his stuff. Like I would have to watch it in order and really pay attention. But there's just like so many of his bits are so good that you're just like,
oh yeah, when he got popular, you know, from the roast, the Comedy Central ones. At least that's in where I've heard him for the first time, and it was just like, this guy's fantastic. And it's like I didn't remember him at all, but it's like when he'd be on the next one, it's like, oh cool, that guy, kind of like Nikki Glaser.
Yeah,
you don't see her in anything else, but then when she's on the roast, you're like, oh hell yeah,
those
roasts
it's gonna be good.
Were like once a month back in the day. They were awesome.
And now they're like every day. They're all over the place. Like everybody gets roasted on every station.
It's so weird hearing my daughters. Like that's what the word they use now is roast. Like instead of like before when it's just like, oh, he's making fun of him. That's always he's roasting. So
Jeselnik was on Kimmel this past week or whatever.
I saw that clip where he like thanked him because he got his start there.
Yeah,
or like
it was good stuff, funny. Yeah, he's the man. He's the best. I wish he just like ended his podcast. Not like ended officially.
Wait,
but
the JRVP one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been like off for a while, but he keeps putting one out every once in a while. But the last time they came on, he's like, we're going to do 2 more, and that's going to be it.
Wow.
And that's a shame because, like, A, it's a good podcast, but the other thing I like about him now is that he's kind of going after, like, Joe Rogan and, like, that type of comedy, like bro comedy, basically, that got, like, Trump elected.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't pick a side in a political matter. You have to just, like you can't, like, be like, hey, I'm good with this president or whatever. Like, you should be making fun of everybody. Like, that's what a comedian is.
An equal opportunist.
And he hates, like, the word podcaster. He's like, I don't want to be a podcaster anymore. I took it off my bio. Like, he's just like comedy. And I like people like that who are just like, take the comedy road and whatever. And I'm hard-headed, so.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, good recommendations there. We're going to move into our big segment. And that is our top 3 this week. We're doing our top 3 beverages as recommended by Mike from Melmac. So I guess I'll start with
I thought
this
it was
one.
top 3 drinks.
All right. I think beverages sounds better, though. Yeah.
Purple drink.
The red Gatorade, the blue Gatorade, and the clear Gatorade.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll start off with this one. I'm just going to preface this. Like, I don't have, like, super fun drinks here. Beverages, if you will.
Well, I don't think you can go super detailed into these, but I do think it's at least we'll know.
Oh yeah, no, I do like the topic. Yeah. So my first one, this is kind of a bland one, but it's just coffee. I became a coffee drinker probably within the last like 10, 15 years. I used to hate coffee. I thought it was disgusting.
Same.
And then I was introduced to flavored creamers, and that was my downfall. And that's probably why I'm in the dentist every other week. But if it's just like, here's a black coffee and there's like sugar and cream, it's like, okay. If I need it, like if I like for my energy or whatever, but I don't really enjoy coffee if I don't have like some kind of a flavored creamer. So I'm kind of a poser.
Yeah, my number 3 is also coffee.
Okay.
And I'm the exact opposite.
Really?
I only drink black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I drink any kind of coffee, but like McDonald's black coffee is the best, is my favorite coffee. The taste of it, whatever it is, the temperature, the cup that they put it in, I don't know what it is, the drugs that are involved. I have no clue what they do with their coffee, but McDonald's black coffee, I don't put cream, I don't put sugar, I don't put any of that stuff.
Now,
I'm a man. I am a strong man.
You also can drive on the highway without being scared.
Although, cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop!
He was holding a creamer.
Damn right. I forgot what I was going to say.
Black coffee and McDonald's. I don't know.
All right, my number 2, and this goes back a bit because I do not drink anymore, but Stella Artois. I'm going to have to, we're going all time. That was my favorite beer to drink, and I was drinking it a lot. All and giving them a lot of money. I got some free Stella glasses.
I was going to say bottle or can or draft?
Bottle mostly.
Yeah.
Were you a Stella guy?
No, I mean, I've had it, but I'll just lead you to my number 2. We don't have to stop talking about yours.
Okay, yeah.
But my number 2 is also from my drinking days, and it is also the beer of my choice. It was Old Style.
Nice.
So it's the opposite of Stella.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably... Yeah, I did spend a lot of money. I guess Miller Lite was probably my like cheap beer, or like standard.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Maybe Coors every once in a while, but
if a place had hams, if a place had Old Style,
PBR,
PBR. That's what I was gonna drink. But otherwise, most places are like, we have a Miller Lite special, and you're like, I'll do the Miller Lite,
sure.
24 ounces for 4 cents, and then.
Were you an IPA guy at all?
No. And you know what? I'm glad I don't drink anymore because it seems difficult. There's like so many different things that it's like.
Well, we got out of it before like the clear.
We got out of the game.
Before the seltzer beers, I feel. Like there was a few of them, but now they're huge. Like everyone has a seltzer alcoholic drink.
Seltzers and like even IPA stuff, it's like, that's not even beer to me. That's like, it's so heavy. I never liked Guinness. Because it was like so heavy.
Dude, like what are they? The Irish car bombs. Yeah, that's about all I had used.
I mean,
for
like
Guinness.
I would drink it if it was there, of course. But I'm just saying, like if I had a preference.
Well, I have Guinness, sure.
The Conor McGregor special.
Yeah,
have a nice Guinness. But I don't know. I just I like the cheap beers. They were cheap and they did the job, and that was it.
Yeah. No, I don't need to get into my dark drinking past, so I'll just move on to number. I guess, I don't know. I feel like this list is like, did I? No. Are you saying no? Not really. 7-Eleven Slurpees.
This is your number 1.
This is my number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess most specifically the Coke flavor and then banana.
Wow, I was gonna say I'm with you as long as it's cherry.
Cherry.
We're the opposite on all.
Well, see, I do, and now I don't know if it's called this anymore. We might get canceled. The Suicide, which was the one when you would make the drink and you would put every single flavor in there.
We get canceled for that. We got problems.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
In the world.
I know. So, with the 7-Eleven Slurpee though, you would get in there one time and like when the one you wanted was like out of service, or you saw the red light was on, or you could just tell that it was sloshing around a little differently. It didn't look like the other ones.
It's pronounced Sasha.
Sloshing around. Yeah. You'd pull the lever and it was just like the liquid would come out like the bottom of your work truck.
I did not like the Coca-Cola flavor. That was my least favorite. If I went in and that was the only one, I'm out.
No, I wouldn't do that either though, because that's pointless. It's like, I'll just get a Coke, like a 2-liter. But yeah,
I would do half and half at most if I'm mixing.
Oh, I still. I guess there's probably whenever there's like a sugar-free one or something that's like you're out, But yeah, cherry.
You just turn it on and walk away.
And then exactly. So no one has to have it. But the banana is always my favorite.
Yeah, banana.
Ah!
Oh, I get it. All right, which leads me to my number 1, which doesn't exist anymore. But I drank this every day of high school, which was why I was such a great athlete.
Can you give me a hint? Wait, so is it like Powerade or not Gatorade? Is it a different one of those?
No, it's a pop. It is pop.
Jolt?
Close. Damn. Jolt was on my mind, but Jolt was like, if you found it somewhere, you're like, I'm getting Jolt. And it wasn't my favorite.
No one really liked Jolt, but it was like, I got Jolt Cola.
Yeah. Look at this caffeine
Fucking Jolt. Yeah.
No, this was, so every day in high school, especially when I was getting older, like I never ate a real lunch. Like I would never go in the lunch line and get food. I would just go get a bunch of these soft cookies because they made incredible soft cookies. And then I would go and get a Mr. Pibb from the machine. And I love Mr. Pibb.
Are you sure Mr. Pibb's defunct? I think
Mr. Pibb is defunct. If anyone knows, it's me. They eventually changed to Pibb Extra.
Wait a minute. This is Pepsi, correct? Like it's a Pepsi product?
I think so, yeah.
Sierra Mist.
Settle down.
They kicked them out too.
Yeah, now it's
Starry.
Yeah,
I hate that. It just seems generic. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's.
Well, there's like one ingredient they have to change.
No more like Sprite commercials during the NBA. It's Starry commercials, and they look exactly the same. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. But Mr. Pibb was my number one. Every day, Mr. Pibb and as many cookies as I could buy. And that was my lunch every day for probably like 2 years.
Yeah, high school cafeteria cookies are incredible.
Yeah,
sometimes
I don't know what they do.
Slightly undercooked, but who cares?
Usually,
usually the middle would just like be almost clear.
What?
What? You'd hold it up, you can see through it. It's just like okay.
That's okay though. I mean that was the great one. And then like they changed it to Pibb Extra, and I believe Pibb Extra you can still find at some Turkish delis or wherever they have them. But
it's still Pepsi though, right?
But it's not the same as what Mr. Pibb was. It changed immediately. There's a different flavor to it. I don't know if they changed the like Coke when it had real sugar versus what they do now or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Something changed. If I find it, I'll still get it, but it's not the same. It doesn't taste the same. But yeah, Mr. Pibb was my number one.
All right, potent notables.
Potent notables. If you guys have any that you want to talk about, by the way, any of your favorite drinks, let us know in the YouTube comments. Potent notables. I got a couple I can list for you.
Alrighty.
Surge. You ever remember Surge?
Tankian?
It was like the mellow yellow that they used to serve at Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Surge was great.
Still running strong.
Rakia. I don't know if you've ever had Serbian plum brandy made from a old man's
not the plum
bathtub.
Kind. They've only had the Serbian peach.
Apricot brandy is good. Yeah, Rakia. It's moonshine and it hurts every time. If you have the good or bad.
It's like, is it good? No. Does it get better? Never.
I was at a Slava recently, which we talked about a couple weeks ago what a Slava is, and the guy next to me was having rakia, and they gave him homemade, which means somebody made it, and then there's a lot of pride in that drink. You know, somebody made this. It came from Serbia. They brought it over here. Here it is. And the guy had it, and he was, woo! Like, it's strong. It can taste like rubbing alcohol sometimes. Sometimes it's 20 years old and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he also had one that was like store-bought.
That's what I was going to ask. Is this like a brand?
They have...
Like, or is this like a general, like moonshine? Yeah. Nothing is actually called moonshine, but we know what that is.
Well, have you ever heard of like Slivovitz?
Maybe.
It's just like Eastern European.
Okay, but I'm saying
it's
like
brandy.
Okay, so like the label actually says that. So when people are making, that's what I'm asking.
If you have the homemade stuff, you have no label.
Yeah,
yeah.
But they're making like using the same ingredients essentially.
No,
or trying
to because it's a bathtub that had rust in it. Like you don't know what's in the homemade stuff. And the store bought stuff is usually, it used to just be like not as strong. And didn't taste good, but now
the bathtub rust will do that.
Now they say like it tastes better. The store made one, the one that's actually like manufactured in a factory. It's better. It doesn't hurt you when you drink it, and it tastes better than it used to. I haven't had it in 10 years or whatever, but yeah. Besides that, Hansen's energy drink. I don't know if you remember that. There was a sponsor of the WWE a long time ago, and so I used to always crack open a Hansen's energy. X-Pac had them. I used to get them at 7-Eleven. Eggnog?
I literally just wrote eggnog right now. That's what I was just writing.
Eggnog?
I fucking love it.
I think we should have eggnog on next
yeah.
week's episode because next week is going to be our Christmas episode.
Our coveted Christmas episode. Make sure you're here.
So I think we should have eggnog. And yeah, I'm all in. My neighbor used to make eggnog for us, but she would put so much like alcohol in it, which was fine if we were drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But me and Megan don't drink,
Yeah.
so it was like thank you, and then we would give it away. It's awesome. It's like a great gift. But yeah, eggnog in general. I only had it for the first time a couple years ago, and I'm in.
I remember your debate on Bitter Marks about eggnog. You guys talked about that.
Was I for it?
I don't remember, but like I remember, like I think I was listening, and it was just like these guys are nuts.
I think we had some sort of conversation where like the loser or the winner, or if
you hadn't tried it, I believe.
Bishop made a video of him chugging eggnog or something. Yeah.
Bishop, man, the star of this episode, the MVP.
Hey, we're gonna chug eggnog for Bishop on next week's episode if we remember to buy it.
Yes.
And then the other one, Zima. You brought it up earlier today.
Are you serious?
No, I've never had it, but I love that
Neither
you brought it up. And it made me laugh. So that's it for the top 3 stuff. Do you have any other potent notables?
Yeah, just quickly. Well, I did put Sierra Mist. That's more of a shout out. Just,
okay. Shout out.
You say it. I'm not going to say it.
This one's for Swick.
Yeah.
The Sierra Mist of
I can't
friends.
say it. Okay. Regular Coca-Cola, my favorite. Probably just like, well, my favorite pop, actually, if you will. I just love that.
Not my favorite. See, I was going to put RC Cola in there because I grew up on RC, and I'm still like, if RC's available, I'm all in.
Well, we grew up on probably like whatever the Jewel brand, kind was.
Yeah,
but,
like orange.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That one was just called brown, or like whatever color the thing is. What else did I have? Oh, and then milkshakes in general. I just love them. McDonald's. Oh, speaking of what I was gonna say, you were talking about McDonald's coffee, like because there's myths that McDonald's Coke has a different ingredient too, and that's why people love that so much because McDonald's Coke is pretty damn good.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't drink pop.
Yeah.
Mostly in general. I mean, I'll have like ginger ale, I guess. If you know what, ginger ale probably should be on this list. It's what I have if we go to a restaurant.
I think when I quit drinking and asked you, I'm like, what do you drink? Like one of them, or it was coffee and ginger ale. I think were the two you said.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't drink it often. We went to this like farm close by here for Halloween, and when we were leaving, they were giving away 2 pallets of 12-pack Coca-Cola Spice. Have you heard of Coca-Cola Spice?
I would assume that's got to be like an alcoholic drink, right?
I don't think it is. It's discontinued. I think it's just supposed to be like their pumpkin, like Halloween.
Okay, all right. Because they started like Jack Daniels and stuff. They started making like pre-mixed ones that already had like the pop in them or whatever. So I thought maybe I guess Coke wouldn't probably be like, hey, now with alcohol.
So we have some downstairs. We took one and we're saving it for New Year's, but maybe we do some for the show.
Was it literally just go ahead and take one, or
literally as you were leaving, there was just pallets of it, and no one was saying take one. They were like, get these out of here. So I can't wait to see what that is all about. That's what life is now. It's just waiting to see what
all experimenting,
Coke Spice
man,
is,
just like college.
Yeah, neither one of us went to college. Yeah. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I took an acting class at COD.
Okay. I got
for 1 semester.
I got a degree at COD.
Do you really?
It took me 7 years to get a 2-year degree.
It's one thing I don't have.
I don't think it's supposed to take that long.
Right out of high school, I went to college for a semester. I think I got 2 D's and a C. It was clearly one of those like, I think I'm supposed to keep going to school because I didn't have like a full-time job, I don't think, and it's like, this is a waste of time and money.
Yeah, my parents were like, maybe we talk about this on a different episode, but they were like, you either get a full-time job or you go to college.
I feel like a lot of people
were
doing that option.
I would definitely go to college.
Yeah, are you going to pay for the schooling?
Yeah, even though I was last in my class in high school, I would gladly.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, so. All right, well, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you guys for listening. If you got top 3 drinks, let us know what they are in the comments. And for next week's episode, we are not going to be pulling from the bucket. Tell them, Goff. Tell them, Goff.
Well, next week is our Christmas episode, as we just talked about. So like we did with our Halloween episode, we're just going to kind of change things up a little bit, not pull from the bucket, and just come up with a topic that is holiday related. And next week we are going to be doing our top 3 favorite Christmas gifts.
That's right.
In our lives.
And maybe some bottom 3.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. Why not?
I don't. It's gonna be tough to.
The Christmas episode is going to be 2.5 hours long.
The bottom 3 is funny because we're just like pointing out the person that got us bad gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, terrible gift giver.
All right, well that'll be fun. Top 3 gifts, and that's about it. Srečna slava to all those celebrating Sveti Nikola this week. You know what they say. You're either celebrating Sveti Nikola or you know someone who is. See you next week.
Later.